What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Teenage Head. Thank you as always to Yvonne, and we're moving to another album, Some Kind of Fun, 1982. And the first track is Drivin Wild. So, yeah, ultimately a visual immediately comes about, and it feels like this is the kind of song that would fit very well in Frantic City, where we had multiple songs about rebels and driving and, cars as both a visual reference and, I think, a metaphor. So in that regard, it feels like they're traveling similar territory. I don't know if this is an original or a cover. I'm going to guess an original, but obviously let me know if I am mistaken. But of course, Drivin Wild, you could view it more directly, the idea of actually being unsafe with your driving on the road, going too fast, careening around corners, passing onto the wrong side of the road, but also driving wild more conceptually, more metaphorically, the idea of, staying out late and, driving around, going different places and, not living a normal 9-to-5 life where, you drive around for the purpose of going to one place and coming back, but in fact, cruising, going around and just living it up like a wild young person. So I feel like it could be both. Obviously it might be neither of those things, but that's what comes to mind when I look at the title. Let's give it a listen. This is Teenage Head. The song is Drivin Wild, and it's the opening tune on their 1982 album Some Kind of Fun.
On my way. This could be my final day. Spin the wheel and I close my eyes. I gotta stop reading on super ride. Working real hard, maybe sleeping all day. What I'm too blue to get away. What I've been wild. My
love it. So again, very throwback rock and roll. I mean, there is a bit of that like late 70s, early 80s punk vibe to it, but mostly I'd say it has a throwback rock and roll sound and subject matter. And indeed, I think some of my thoughts about the title were more or less directly in the area it seemed to be, which is to say, staying out late with the boys, drinking beer, driving around, being a bit wild, sleeping through a lot of the day, and the car as both literal subject matter and location, but also as representative of freedom, of youth, of being a bit wild, living with a capital L as opposed to just, doing what you're told and what you're expected to do, and again, focusing on your job and, sleeping a normal schedule and so on. So, yeah, it feels like a song that James Dean might have listened to in one of his, rebel type of movies. So, yeah, definitely a song that seems to be about multiple interpretations of Drivin Wild. And yeah, ultimately there are some lines I didn't quite catch because he was singing not like under his breath, but he was singing in a sort of low-key idiom in parts. And as a result, I'm not sure of all the lines, but what I did catch, again, seems to be about living fast and wild with the boys and, again, staying up late, sleeping in late, and, just not conforming to what society says you're supposed to do. So, yeah, another cool one from them. I do enjoy the rock and roll vibes. It's like a group in the late 70s, early 80s that is paying homage to what came before, but still putting a little bit of a then modern spin on it. So I very much enjoy that. Thank you again to Yvonne. Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.